Mother. Sometimes you step into an archetype willingly, like entering cold water, like kneeling before a queen, like putting on a crown made of animal teeth. You think, now my life will become meaningful. You think, love will organize the chaos. You think, perhaps this is what women before me knew, while carrying firewood, while stirring soup, while washing blood from linen, while singing over feverish children, while burying tiny bodies in winters too far away for history to remember. And the archetype opens its mouth and swallows your name first. After that, people no longer speak to you directly. They speak to Mother. Mother should know. Mother should forgive. Mother should absorb. Mother should stay calm. Mother should explain. Mother should have prevented this. Mother should sacrifice without appearing sacrificed. And if she sacrifices too visibly, they call her manipulative. There are rules, infinite rules, contradictory rules. You must be soft but not weak, structured but not controlling, beautiful but not vain, devoted but not consumed. You must work as though no children exist, mother as though no self exists. And the house becomes a report card written in dust. A pile of laundry becomes a moral failure. A child's outburst becomes a referendum on your soul. People say children are individuals until those individuals become inconvenient. Then suddenly the mother reappears like a suspect in a detective novel. What did she do wrong? Too distant? Too involved? Too ambitious? Too tired? Too sad? Too much woman? Not enough woman. The ancient tribunal assembles immediately. Invisible old women, invisible priests, invisible wolves, even inside your own head. You were raised there too. You have judged mothers yourself, in grocery stores, at schools, at playgrounds, on the internet. A child screaming in fluorescent light, and somewhere inside you a cold little clerk whispers, "Bad mother," as if civilization itself depends upon female emotional regulation, as if women are hydraulic systems meant to regulate the suffering of others. And perhaps we are, or were, or once had to be. Sometimes I think motherhood is the last socially acceptable form of human consumption. A good mother is eaten alive with grace and thanked later in speeches. Maybe with flowers, maybe with a brooch, maybe with grandchildren who resemble dead people. And still women long for it. The archetype calls from somewhere deeper than reason, deeper than feminism, deeper than politics, deeper than personal freedom. It calls from the animal chamber, from milk, from mammal grief, from dreams about holding infants with the faces of ancient gods, from winter loneliness, from watching life continue through other bodies, from the terrible human desire not merely to survive but to become origin. And so you enter. Some through birth, some through adoption, some through marriage, some because a child looks at them once with starving eyes and the gates close behind them forever. The archetype does not care how you arrived. Blood is symbolic, but presence is alchemical. The one who stays is the one who gets carved into memory, and memory is not honest. Memory is a fairy tale engine. Children require mythology to survive their own dependence, so the mother splits. Good mother, terrible mother, devouring mother, absent mother, holy mother, witch mother, dead mother, stepmother. Every child eventually drags a woman into the symbolic forest and assigns her a costume, sometimes several at once. You can be feeding someone soup while simultaneously becoming the dragon in their internal mythology. You can spend years holding together the nervous system of a house, only to become the villain in a story necessary for another person's individuation. Fairness has nothing to do with archetypes. Fairy tales are not courts. They are survival maps. A child cannot psychologically overthrow the economy, the state, history, trauma, biology, abandonment, but a child can overthrow mother. Mother is reachable. Mother is visible. Mother remains. The one who leaves becomes fog. The one who stays becomes architecture. And architecture collects graffiti. Sometimes I think every mother eventually becomes a house in a dream. Some rooms locked, some flooded, some haunted, some impossible to leave. Children wander those corridors for decades, changing the story each time they return. Beneath it all, a human being still wants absurd, ordinary things. Sleep, silence, beauty, a clean kitchen, a body that does not hurt. To be seen once without symbolic interpretation. But archetypes are greedy. Once people place you inside one, they begin pouring centuries into your mouth. Suddenly you are carrying their grandmother, their hunger, their first abandonment, their fear of dependence, their fury at needing love at all. And you carry it because most mothers do, even when they refuse to, even when they run, even when they die, especially then. Because dead mothers become planetary, they orbit forever. Motherhood is not an identity, but a haunting. Something partially moves into you. You become inhabited by projections, expectations, fantasies, accusations, fairy tales, and somewhere beneath all that noise, your original self keeps flickering like a lantern in deep water. Still there, still breathing, still dangerous. Not merely mother, but woman, ancient thing, animal thing, creator thing, the black-winged creature that existed before the cradle, the one who can nurture and live, the one who can feed and refuse, the one who contains not only milk but teeth. Because all mothers come from the same source. Not sweetness, not purity, source, the primordial dark, the sea before language, the place where gods, monsters, children, and worlds are all born screaming. Sometimes I am standing inside the kitchen holding a wet dishcloth while someone explains to me how I damaged them psychologically. There is minced garlic under my fingernails. The dog wants to go outside. Someone forgot their gym clothes again. The washing machine makes the sound of mechanical drowning. And suddenly I am no longer a person, but the continent responsible for weather patterns. I want to say, I was 37 and exhausted. I had inflamed hips. I had not slept properly for years. I was trying to keep everybody alive on ordinary money inside ordinary time, but archetypes hate context. Archetypes feed on simplification. Mother must become symbol, the way deer become antlers on cave walls. Sometimes I think children remember emotionally the way dreams remember, not accurately, precisely. The emotional truth becomes gigantic while chronology burns away. One slammed door can become an entire childhood. One moment of tenderness can survive like a candle through decades of grief. And meanwhile, the mother remains trapped inside linear time. Bills, schedules, school forms, half-cold tea, pelvic pain, ibuprofen at 3 a.m., trying not to cry in the grocery store because everybody suddenly needs something at exactly the same moment. The mythology of motherhood rarely includes administrative labor. Nobody paints Madonnas answering emails from school. Nobody writes hymns about sorting winter gloves. Nobody kneels before the sacred mystery of finding moldy sandwiches in backpacks. And yet, this is where mothers disappear. Not in one grand sacrifice, in fragments, tiny daily erosions, a woman divided into lists. Sometimes I would stand in the bathroom just to be alone for 4 minutes, not even crying, just sitting on the closed toilet lid staring at towels, like a soldier in a bunker. Outside the door, voices, questions, needs, movement, always movement. Motherhood is movement toward you, hands pulling, eyes watching, someone always slightly hungry. Even love begins to feel carnivorous after enough years. especially for the woman whose nervous system never fully unclenches. And still, there are moments so beautiful they rupture language. A sleeping child with flushed cheeks, the unbearable weight of a small head against your chest during fever, a teenage son suddenly laughing like the little boy still exists somewhere inside him, a daughter walking ahead of you in sunlight, and for one impossible second you see simultaneously the child, the woman, the future ghost. Time stops behaving correctly. You live inside overlapping ages. Every mother carries at least 4 versions of every child at once. Infant, child, monster, lost adult. Sometimes all in the same afternoon. And the body keeps score even when the mind refuses. Jaw locked at night, neck hard as wire, shoulders carrying invisible architecture. The hips holding old alarms from births, surgeries, fear, years of hypervigilance. The body saying, I have been the wall between danger and others for too long. But nobody really wants mothers to become human again. Human mothers are inconvenient. A human mother has limits, desire, anger, sexuality, contradictions, ambivalence. A human mother sometimes wants to leave the house and never come back, not because she does not love, because she has become over-inhabited. Too many projections living inside one body. And then comes the strangest betrayal. Sometimes the children inherit the same archetype that consumed you. Sometimes daughters become mothers and suddenly look at you differently. Not with innocence, with recognition, as if they have finally met the ancient machine themselves. And perhaps that is when forgiveness sometimes begins, structural forgiveness. The moment a woman realizes, oh, the archetype was eating her too. And perhaps that is the final initiation. Not becoming mother, but surviving her. Surviving the ancient role without allowing it to consume the entire horizon. To remain partly unknowable. To keep one room in the inner house locked. A room untouched by children, lovers, projections, fairy tales. A room where the original woman still exists. Not saint, not monster, not sacrifice, not story, just a living creature with her own strange hungers. The one who walks outside at dawn while the rest of the house sleeps. The one who still belongs partly to the forest, partly to the sea, partly to herself. And perhaps this is why so many old goddesses look simultaneously terrifying and peaceful. They have stopped asking to be understood correctly. They no longer fight the projections. They simply sit at the center of them like black suns while generations orbit, naming the light according to their own hunger.